Hey guys. Okay, still here with Sarah, and we're on letter 23. This one's titled Do It. Dear Ewan, I'm finally getting around to writing you about our last conversation, the one where you told me that you loved reading my letters because it was such a different world than yours, but that your depression that is triggered by not being enough is drowning you. The one where we talked about how my parents are suffering and you're going sailing and you were resolved to fix your depression. The conversation where you need a break from receiving my letters. The conversation where you said that you think we can only be there for 5 people in the world and you couldn't handle the feeling that you were letting me down by needing space. The conversation where I asked if I could text you in 3 months to see if you could chat, and that you said, of course, but only if it's okay that I say no. And then I said, okay, but it works both ways. If you have to say no, you don't get to beat yourself up about it. The conversation where I told you how I told my coaching client, who's kind of addicted to texting dates back 5 days later in order to not be too much, thought I was fucking up by telling you I loved you. The happiness I felt when his mind was blown that you have never sent disgust my way once, just kindness and a little pleading for space and understanding. I didn't want to write this letter. I didn't want the world to know that my beloved needed space from me. I thought, fuck these people. They'd never know that I stopped sending them after letter 18. But I want the arrows of, see, it was all Bloss's craziness. They weren't actually in love. You can't call it love if both people aren't sticking out every moment together. I am a deep sea fish pulled up from the depths where the surface pressure is so low and different that he vomits his own guts. It was the conversation where I asked you, Ewan, is it okay if I still use you as my muse? I just can't face the world unless I'm talking to you. You're the first experience I've ever had of feeling safe to have my voice, and I know that I'm speaking to my own soul when you're not here. I don't want to hurt you by making you up in my heart. I don't care how slow it goes, but I feel fine knowing you at the speed of your need for space. But can I still write to you even if I don't send it? And you said, of course, please do. And that's where a why goes when I say, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. All my imaginings of all the judgments and compassions hit me like arrows, and I feel free. Writing this brushed my awareness, and I knew this is my love I'm standing for. My belief in love, whether requitedness is perceived or not. This is my heart and my soul, and it must be stood for. I have no idea what I'm making up, but if the future must be forepaved through the augury of these guts, then so be it. People need to know that their love is free to love in the deafest of ears and the blindest of eyes. Reception is not the point of love. I can't finish this cleanly. I hope you read all these letters someday. I'm going to handwrite them in a beautiful book and give them all to you. Your existence meeting mine was the final lock being lifted on the love in me. And I'm not fucking going back. I can't go back. 3 months before I send a text is nothing. You're so fucking great, Ewan. Mike. That was a really hard one to write. And I made the title Do It because that was there was right on the edge of my consciousness, that truth, like, oh, here's the real thing that's happening. And then my brain just said, just do it. And I just wrote it. And it's like, I think it's good. And like basically we've texted a little bit since then, just like a tiny bit. But the I stopped sending them. And now I've been in, a place where he's just the muse, you know. Like I know he's real. I know I can sense the felt sense that would arise if he was in front of me. But just for now, he's a muse. Yeah.
What's hard about it?
What's hard is like as time goes on, like up until this point, I was just working so hard to just keep it separate. Like some of this is a projection and some of this is this person. And love is is like between and amidst like both. And then when this new development happened, basically he's like, I don't have room in my life for this level of intensity. And I I had known that that was a risk of being this intense, but I was like, as soon as you start strategizing, you're gonna lose the reason you even started. But as time goes by and these things get separated, yeah, I've been it's really intense to like remember like, okay, you're writing to him, like that's what makes the writing, like in my opinion, better.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's hard. It's hard as time goes by, there's this place where the real him, the effort to remember there's a real him and a basically a mirror of me
Mhm.
feels like, almost like I'm bailing water out of a sinking boat that nobody wants to sail anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's interesting practice because, if we're gonna love, then I think we should love even if nobody knew. Yeah.
It feels like you're living out loud this secret
Huh,
about love
huh,
that exists in all of the places where it's really easy to hide it.
huh,
Like I'm married to a man and we have a kid together, and it's really easy for me to seem like somebody whose love is always requited,
huh,
and that's not true.
right.
It's not.
Right.
We've been together for 10 years and there's been lots of moments of unrequited love between us, but we don't have to shout that from the rooftops.
Right.
It's easy for that to be the quiet part of what love means between
Right.
us. But so much of our love has to be not about being received.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We'll stop there.